From the IMTV Wave Channel 5 studio at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library proudly presents Never Stop Serving. And now, your host, Mike Maloney.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our next edition of Never Stop Serving. Very happy to have who we have today. We're very excited about it. We're going to turn it into hopefully a whole series about Larry's unit here. First, let me go back and tell you, if you catch you up, we've had a very busy year already. We've just kicked off our year, and it's been very busy. We have Never Stop Serving 21 and 22. They're on our YouTube page. Check those out. 21 is Colonel Cassie Barlow from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. She's retired, and she's doing great work now at Wright State University with veteran research. So check that out, good information there. Never Stop Serving 22 is Alex Stewart, our winner from the talent show, who made that great film 22. And then we also on our YouTube page is the 70th anniversary of the VFW, that ceremony. And that great ceremony for the 196 dedication, those two soldiers, the highway was dedicated. That whole ceremony's on there also. It's a great thing to see there. And then, of course, our talent show's on there too, along with some clips there, or some commercial clips. Check out the new work we've been doing. I'm pretty proud of the people here at Channel 5 and IMTV. They've been doing great work. They're really raising the bar on what we're producing here, and we're always grateful for them. Getting right into our guest now that I've started with that, I want to tell you this guest is very special to me personally. I've told you that I've been an officer in the VFW here in Greenville since I was 10 years old. The guy next to me here has something to do with that. He's actually my proof. Some people are like, oh, you're full of it. He's actually my proof. I think he became an advisor for the Sons of VFW when I was about 12 or 13 or something like that. So I'd already been in it a couple years. But him and he and Dennis Young Sr. Were advisors for the Sons of VFW, and they were our mentors when we were young. This is why we're so into veterans now, because we were into veterans then and we were mentored correctly. Larry had a lot to do with that. So I'm very appreciative to have him here. It's very important to me that he's here today. So getting right into that, I'm going to let him introduce himself and let him tell you all about himself. I just wanted to tell you he's special to me. Larry, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Please tell everybody your name, rank, serial number. Not your serial number. But tell them who you are, where you came from, where you grew up, your parents, your school, how you got into the service, and then we'll get into the 196th.
I'm Larry McLear. I was born here in Greenville. We lived in Ansonia until 1955. My parents moved out on 571 west of Greenville, so I ended up in Greenville School, graduated from Greenville.
Whoa. Greenville alumni, woohoo! We're going to start getting a big alarm and buzzer whenever we interview somebody as a Greenville alumni. Anyway, sir, go ahead.
Anyway, my wife and I were married August 28th, 1965. 30 days later, September 29th, I left Darke County, was drafted in the Army, and ended up in Fort Knox, Kentucky. The Army was just starting the 196th Light Infantry Brigade. So the people from Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Kentucky, Tennessee, and West Virginia all went to Fort Knox, Kentucky. I was there approximately 10 days to 2 weeks, something like that. And we were flown to Fort Devens, Massachusetts. North of Boston, part of it was built before World War II, but it was a ASA, was the only thing was up there. It was the Army Security Agency. So there wasn't much of them, and they had to have a place to train 2,000 people. So that's where they put the 196th Light Infantry. Basically, we were being trained to go to the Dominican Republic, to Santo Domingo. At that time, in '65, there were some street riots going on, so Light infantry meant we had no artillery and no armor. We were light. We could be up and moving in a matter of hours. Wherever they wanted to send us, we would be, we could go.
Rapid deployment.
Right, yeah. We were the first light infantry unit. Well, in the first part of June of 66, President Johnson pulled the troops out of Santo Domingo. So they called up General Westmoreland in Vietnam, asked him if he would like a light infantry unit. So we left Boston, Massachusetts on July 15th, 66 on 2 ships, the Darby and the Patch. We left Boston, went down the east coast of the United States, through the Panama Canal, back up to Long Beach, California. Spent 1 night in Long Beach, resupplied, refueled.
I'm sorry, what time frame was it? What time or what month and year do you think?
We left July 15th, so it was still, we spent, probably 1 night before we got to Long Beach. Then we left there the next day.
Okay.
And we got in Vietnam. We landed at Vung Tau, Vietnam on August 26th. All that time on the ocean. And after we left the ships, the 2 ships, the Darby and the Patch, we were flown on C-130s to Tay Ninh province. That's where the 196 set their base camp at in Tay Ninh, outside the village of Tay Ninh. I said we were detached to the 25th Division. Basically what that meant, if we went on an operation, they could cover us with any large artillery pieces.
Right.
We would be within the range of that. I know some of those guns would go, 8 miles or probably 20 miles, some of them, I don't know. So we were right out at the base of the Nui Bao Dinh mountain. If you saw the mountain, you know you're getting close to coming back into base camp. So we got there August 26th, and we had to stay in base camp for probably 2 weeks to get acclimated to the heat, because it was, over 100 degrees there. Did small operations. The first major operation that with the 196 was involved with was Operation Attleboro. The units of the 196 and units of the 25th Division was on an operation, and they had found some rice. And I was in the 4th Battalion, 31st Infantry. They called us up on a Sunday, and they wanted us to just get a couple pairs of socks. You're not going to be out very long. We're going to go out and guard this rice. Originally, they were going to bring the rice back to our base camp and to distribute it to the villages around Cu Chi or Tay Ninh. Well, ended up they found more rice and more rice. They found so much rice that they couldn't haul it back on choppers, so they just started to burn it. Well, what they found out was it was the whole winter supply for the Viet Cong in that area. The rice, fuel, peanuts, stuff.
Is this that same area?
Right, yeah,
okay.
yeah. And so that's when, Rob Fable was killed November 30 in Operation Attleboro. That was probably the biggest operation that I was in the whole time I was there, was Attleboro. I was also in Junction City and Cedar Falls, but Attleboro was absolutely the worst operation we was in. In January of 1967, they had to divide up the 196. We went over as a unit, but you can't leave entirely as a unit. So I went to the 25th Division, some went to the 4th Division, I think maybe some went to the 9th Division. And they would bring those people into the 196. So it's kind of mixed up, shuffled up.
So were they getting rid of the 196 then when they separated?
No.
They're just having new people come in? And
you had to rotate people around. So when we rotated back to the States, the whole unit wouldn't leave at one time. Right. You would have, you had from people from at that time, the 25th, the 4th, and I think the 9th would leave, but not all, the whole unit would leave at one time. So, and I went to the 25th Division, 4th Battalion, 23rd Infantry. Now, they had just went mechanized in December, which means they had armored personnel carriers. We called APCs, and we called it a track. My track number was 24, which was 2nd Platoon, 4th Squad. And ours were all diesel, luckily, because some of them in the Wolfhounds, the 25th Division, some of them they had were gas. When you hit a landmine with a gas APC, and it don't come out very good.
Right, sure, absolutely. Sure.
So, then I rotated back, and when I come back in July of '67, I was the machine gunner on the APC. The other two that came back with me, one was what they called the track commander, then the driver. All three of us come in. Normally they would pull you in out of the field about 2 weeks before you rotated back home and send other people in your position. And I come back to the base camp, the track driver and the track commander. All three of us come back. 3 guys took our place. The first operation they went on, they hit a large mine. It killed the driver. Yeah, it killed the driver, the track commander. The guy that took my place on the machine gun, he had a broken back out of it. So,
M60 machine gun?
Yeah.
So that was how long after they took over the team?
They had just first time they went out, they hit that mine. And I had taken pictures of the APC when they brought it back in, but that whole roll of film came back black. Not one picture was exposed on it. I don't know what happened to the film.
Right.
This was '67. I don't know, coming through the airport, if X-rays would have done it, or if they would have did something wrong when they was processing it. But that whole roll of film came back black. So.
But you do probably have a lot of pictures and so forth.
I used slides because I thought that the heat would make the picture stick together. I took a lot of slides. Then when I come back, I transferred the slides over to, at that time, was video cassette VCR tape.
Right.
And I have done one from a VCR tape to a DVD I give to that friend of mine that lives in Indiana, was a track commander. I give him that one. So I need to do some more, but.
Yeah, if you ever need help, let us know. We'll steal some of that stuff.
I might take you up on that.
We'll steal some of that stuff too.
I got some stuff.
I mean that. We'll give you what you need. We'll take what we want.
I have several. Besides my pictures and stuff, there was a couple other articles that I taped about Vietnam that I have on VCR tapes, which is obsolete anymore. So.
Yeah. Let me take you back a second here. I want to make sure this is straight because I wasn't exactly sure about this. The 196 was formed regionally here.
Well, they were
because I know a lot of people from Darke County. Yeah. And when you say you all got on the ships, you're talking about everyone. Doug Black, you.
Yeah. We were all
at the same time.
We were all on the. We was on the Darby. I think.
All of you guys at the same time. All the Darke County guys.
Yeah. Either you're on one of those two ships, either the Darby or the Patch, depending which infantry unit you was in. So.
That's also interesting. I didn't know that you guys were slated for another mission.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we were supposed to go San Domingo.
Yeah, that would have been much better.
Oh, yes.
I hadn't realized that. Okay. So did you guys train together when you were at Fort Knox? Was 196?
Well, we did.
All the Darke County guys, were you all together? Or
we were together. No, we didn't do any training. They were waiting to get everybody assembled from these other states.
So it was just hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said I was there about 10 days to 2 weeks. I know some of the guys I've talked to from Darke County came a week after I did. And a lot of that depends on your birthday.
Right.
Which you're a little older, you went a week early or something. Now we did have some from the other units from the East Coast, but the majority of them was from the Midwest, and the majority of them were draftees. Not that many volunteers, which we called they were RA, which I guess was the regular Army. You're retired out of this, you'll know that. We were USs, most of us. So.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, and all deployed together, machine gunner, and. Formed Darby and Patch.
So what was unique about our unit, we had basic training, then we had advanced infantry or basic training, then we had basic unit training, then we had advanced unit training. So we were together the whole 9 months. All the guys, normally after basic, you're shifted around to a different outfit or something. Yeah. But here at 196, we all trained together. For 8 or 9 months, we were together the whole time. So, which at that time was
and it's very, very tight knit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Larry, I was so impressed. I don't normally do much camera work, but I went to the 196 and filmed it. It's not the greatest film. Check it out. It's kind of shaky, but I was shocked. I was shocked when they said everyone from 196 stand up, and there was a lot of people that stood up. I was just so surprised. I was like, wow. Wow, look at this. Yeah.
About all of them was there, but like two or something.
Nice sized group.
There was just a couple that didn't make it. I know the one lives out of the country now that couldn't make it. And the one from Versailles, I was surprised. I thought he would be there, but he wasn't there, so.
Yeah, yeah. Can you, if possible, can you take me back to the day of Attleboro when we lost him? I mean, what did, obviously news like that travels quickly, right?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
Oh, please tell us
It
about
did. It might now with the modern technology, but I did not know it until my mom wrote me a letter. I got a letter from my mother, and she said, "Sorry to hear about Rob Fauble." Well, this is what, and then I had to write her back and ask her what she was talking about. So this has taken several weeks back and forth to find out that he was killed.
Oh, I see. I see. Actually, there's some similarity to that because there's, some people I knew that were killed in Iraq that I didn't know about until I thought, oh my God, this guy,
And I had another friend. So I went to 25th Division in January '67. He was in the mortar platoon, stayed with the 196. I left January of '67. In February of '67, the 196 left Taining. They went to Chulai, right south of Da Nang, up in the mountains. Mm-hmm. He was in the mortar platoon. So the word come down later on that he was killed. Mm-hmm. So for 50-some years, I thought he was killed. And then a few years ago, one of the Army reunions, we were in Buffalo, New York. And my wife and I are sitting in the sergeant's room. Everybody sits around talking. And I hear this guy coming down the aisle. He says, "I don't know you, I don't know you, I don't know you." I looked up, and here he is. And I said, "Hey, you're supposed to be dead."
Oh.
So we've
We've
exchanged addresses, and we keep in touch now. So that was quite a surprise.
Nice to know he wasn't dead.
Yeah, he's still alive.
Yeah.
So.
All right. After Vietnam, you came back. What did Carol do while you were in Vietnam?
She worked in NCR at the time, and she stayed there till 1970. And our first daughter was born, and she quit working at that time. So I came back. I had worked for General Motors, so I put 30 years in at General Motors, and she raised the kids. We had 3 daughters, and then after 30 years, I retired and living the good life.
Now you're just living the good life.
That's right.
Well, I already mentioned. This is a Never Stop Serving. We like to talk to veterans that not only serve their country honorably, and with distinction, they came back and they gave back to the community. And I know you did, Larry. I'm the product of that. What else did you do? Did you do anything else, or was Sons of VFW? Was that it for you? Don't be shy.
Oh,
a lot of people say, "Oh, I didn't do much."
I didn't do much.
Really? Yeah, see, they all say it.
We've been active in the VFW since, I don't know, I joined back I think in the early 80s. I don't know exactly. You'd have to look it up. We've been active in the VFW ever since. So. Yeah. Carol was the president of the auxiliary at one time. So.
Right.
But after raising you kids, it gave me gray hair. So. But we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Larry, I really appreciate you being here. And again, please let us help you restore these photos and stuff like that. We'll help each other with that. And if you guys, our plan is we're going to try to have a series of 196, starting with Larry. Of course, Larry just pointed out to me, well, you already have Doug. Oh yeah, of course I got Doug. We're going to try to get as many 196 and get a kind of like a group series going, and we're going to work on that because I think there's a good piece of history there that we could talk about and make sure it's covered well, this campaign and Operation Attleboro and all that. Anything else? Did I forget anything, sir?
I don't think so. We pretty well covered it.
I thank you very much for coming in, and again, we'll start on this library, and we'll go after that. Thank you again. There you go, everybody. Larry McLear. Thank him for coming in, and we'll see you guys. We only have one more week before we go on Christmas break for the school, but we might try to get out into assisted livings and stuff like that during that time and pick up some more veterans. Thank you guys for watching, and check us out. Check our other stuff out. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for watching. Please visit us on our social media sites. Please consider contributing to our mission in some way. Also, we are always looking for veterans and their families to share their stories with us. Be sure to join us next week for our next episode of Never Stop Serving.